fired up.
4th down and goal from the 9. 17 seconds to go. The play clock at 3. Shotgun snap. Carr throws into traffic. Intercepted. Jermaine Pratt has the football.
Yeah.
Coffin nails.
Bam, bam, bam. How about that? It ends on a turnover.
Joe Burrow takes the snap. He takes a knee. And after 31 years, the drought is over. It is no fluke. It is a fact. The Cincinnati Bengals are headed to Super Bowl 56.
Welcome back. It is Pardon the Punctuation. I am Aaron Smith, as always, steering this ship with my co-host and self-proclaimed best producer in the city, Ed Mayhall.
Howdy.
Currently, Jeff is not here. That said, he is supposed to be coming, barring any unforeseen events in between traveling home from the his son's baseball game, and they're apparently going to be going to a league championship on Saturday. So kudos to him. And Sunday was Father's Day.
Yes, sir.
What'd you do to celebrate Father's Day?
We actually celebrated on Saturday. We decided to I wanted to check out the drone show up at Kings Island that they do during the fireworks this year for the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, they have 15 minutes of fireworks literally every single night all summer long.
Yeah, so we headed up there because it was a beautiful evening. We headed up there probably about 7 o'clock, let the kids ride some rides for a little bit.
Passes?
Yeah, season passes.
Okay.
Let the kids ride and then checked out the fireworks and then headed home. No riots, no fights, nothing. It was good.
Did you you get anything cool from the kids?
Yeah. Let's see. They got me a t-shirt. It says, good job, Dad. We're awesome. And then it has pictures of them drinking milk and me with a beer.
Would have been better if they had them like clinking.
Yeah, that would have been cool. And then they got me a little fold-up table. Really nice one, kind of like a card table. Mm-hmm. But this one has like a pouch that you can attach to the bottom of it for like shelving kind of things to put out on the back porch when I'm grilling and barbecuing and whatnot.
Agreed, Chase. The Reds are terrible. We'll get to that.
Terrible, Kenny.
We'll get to that eventually.
Oh man, sorry, I missed a bunch of these. You got Geoff saying it's probably my fault. All started happening like a month ago when I started watching. Don't blame yourself, Geoff.
That's hilarious.
Ed, we better get 60 seconds tonight. That's also what she said. And yes,
you're coming out guns blazing tonight, man.
The Reds suck.
I hope you didn't just blow your entire wad just now.
I think that's all I had.
Well, sounds about right. I don't even want to talk about that. What's wrong with your brother bringing stuff up that makes my heart hurt? So glad you asked. I had a great Father's Day as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, sorry. How was your first Father's Day?
With the little one on the way, and then me being the bonus dad to the two kids here. Also with my birthday last week. I ended up getting a smoker, so I've joined the smoker club.
Which get that Pit Boss?
Got a big old Pit Boss, yes sir.
All right.
The Pro
she reached
series.
out to me.
I know. I got the Pro Series.
All right.
Haven't used it yet, but we'll get there because we had baseball tournament all weekend, and the oldest won his baseball tournament. So kudos to the Athens All-Stars for
congratulations
winning their baseball tournament this weekend.
Heard Joe Burrow was on that team back in the day.
Maybe. I don't know.
I have no clue.
Outside of that, I also got I got a hat, and I got a new Bengals hat. And then I got a nice little
Yeti cooler. koozie there, huh?
For the tall cans. Yeah.
I got a tall can going on here. Got the Astra.
Is that the Mountain Dew
Baja
Blast?
The Baja, the Baja Blast off. Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
It's been sitting in the fridge for a couple weeks, and every week I mean to bring it downstairs, and I keep forgetting.
Correct. The smoker that they totally didn't tell me they got me, except they totally did tell me.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, and then I got I got my new chair.
Oh, look at that. You got yourself a gaming chair. I got one of those over there. It sucks.
This one's fantastic.
That one's probably fantastic. This one doesn't go up and down. So yeah.
Well, that GT player, just saying.
It's a nice one.
Pretty good one. I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff that I got. Oh, I got a new beard trimmer.
Ooh, I need one of those.
I needed one of those.
Yeah, I definitely need one of those and one of those Manscaper ones too.
Well, that's a whole different.
No, but I use those on the beard, like on the neckline, because it gets real nice on the neckline.
That's a whole different conversation, Ed.
I mean, I understand that. I'm just saying it gets real nice on the neckline.
I would not use what I'm using to Manscaped.
You could change the blades out on those.
Oh, that must be a new feature on the new ones.
Sure. I think mine's a second gen, but yeah.
Huh.
It happens.
All right. Outside of that, we did find out yesterday. One of the first things that Pardon the Punctuation did was covering the basketball tournament, as those were the first credentials that I ever had. Same for you. As we ended up next to Clark Kellogg during the game, which was absolutely wild.
Bonkers. During the whole game, too.
Yeah.
Because he was announcing the Ohio State game after us.
Yeah.
And they had Daychick announcing our game.
Dachik.
Daychick. I don't like him anyways.
Yeah, he's kind of a douche. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. But yesterday they did announce their head coach is going to be none other than the longtime Bearcat, Corey Blunt. Which is interesting because the last time there was a tournament team, it was Bearcat Jam under Melvin Levitt. But Corey Blunt is going to be heading this year's version of Nasty Natty.
Who was the head coach for that team? It was also was it Tate? Andre Tate?
I thought it was Mel. That was technically.
Mel was the GM.
Oh, you're right.
Which is at Witten Woods.
I don't recall who the head coach was actually at this point. I thought he was both.
Yep, it was him, Andre Tate.
All right. And they also announced that
Eric Hicks.
He was an assistant.
Yep.
I do remember that. But they also announced that the assistant GM and assistant coach, I believe, also is Kane Broom.
Kane Broom, that's correct.
Which I'm kind of surprised they didn't include him on the actual roster. Maybe it was too late of an admission to get him on at that point in time.
I remember Mel was adding guys up to like the night before, but yeah. You're right. It could be that. That could be the case.
It was just strange that because he's boys with all of them. When they ran open gym, not this, like a summer a year ago.
Yeah.
He was running open gym with all of those guys, Jaron and Kevin Johnson and Jacob Evans and Trey. So it just seems odd to me that Kane wouldn't be included on the roster with this year's version of the Cincinnati TBT team.
That does seem pretty wild.
I don't know. What are your thoughts as far as the team that they've put together? I know you're a little more up to date than I am on. I'm pretty sure you have the roster pulled up at this point, or at least you did.
I do. It is right here. I mean,
Coriante DeBerry again.
Coriante DeBerry returning. By the way, that gentleman has large hands. Him and Yancey had very large hands.
He's a large individual in general.
My hands were crushed, I think, when I shook both their hands. I mean, Jacob. Go ahead.
Octavius Ellis.
Octavius, he was on the team.
He wasn't last year or the last version.
He was supposed to be, but his contract got injured, something like that.
He didn't make it. Yeah.
But I mean, I think it feels like a solid team, and we got some G League guys.
Shaq Thomas coming back.
A guy that was drafted in the first round by the Golden State Warriors is going to be on the team, and Jacob Evans. I think we were doing a little bit of research, you and I, beforehand. And Jaron, Trey are both in the G League right now.
Jaron saw a 10-day contract from Portland at the end of the season.
Yep, and then Troy is playing overseas, I believe, right now.
Correct.
And then a couple guys not from UC here. So we got Ty Jordan from Malone University and Marquez Letcher Ellis from Rice University, which is no problem, right? Probably some guys these guys have met along the way in the G League and tryouts and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, come join the team.
Sure.
So, no problem with that. But, I mean, it feels like a solid team. I mean, if you look at the Xavier team, I think we match up pretty well.
It's certainly a younger team than the last version that Cincinnati ran out there.
That is true. I was going to look up. I didn't do it. I shared the screen wrong. But I think Xavier had, I mean, their biggest name, I think, was, what's his name? The guy I can't stand.
Blewett. I would think Blewett would probably
be Blewett on that team.
I think so.
Let's pull it up real quick. You're probably right. He probably is. What are they called? The zip 'em ups. That's right. But I don't know. It seems like a really solid team. It seems like, and we're going to get a sneak preview of them before the TBT tournament in that
in the Smith League.
Well, that crosstown shootout.
Oh yeah,
thing that's going to happen. I think pretty much everybody on the TBT team is going to be there except for Jaron. I don't think he was on the roster. That could always change, I guess. Let's see. Okay, who's this guy?
Huge.
Yeah.
I don't even recall him.
CJ Anderson, D Davis. Oh, you know who's on this team? Where's he at? Mark Lyons. Remember Mark Lyons? He's the guy who started the fight in the crosstown shootout.
JP
McCura. Matt Stainbrook. I don't hate Stainbrook. Stainbrook was a cool dude.
I would not agree, but sure.
Okay. JP. Yeah, I thought, now I guess Trey Blewett's not on here. Oh, there he is. Blewett and Samaje Christian. So, I mean, they got a good team, but we all know what Cumberland does to JP McCura. Makes him his baby.
Devin Davis might be the best player on that team.
Possibility he didn't even go there. This guy is huge, by the way. Jeez.
Yeah, that's a large individual.
Did he go to the Monster Factory?
I don't recall him.
Good gracious. Oh, Jeff Robertson. He played for.
He did play for Bearcat Jam.
He was a good dude. Looks like he's gonna be an assistant coach. That's good. But I don't know. Should be fun. I put our application in for this one, but haven't heard anything back yet. That was back when they first announced that Nasty Natty was going to be on it. So it was like a month and a half ago, and haven't heard anything. So,
well, you brought up the Smith League.
Yeah.
Have you been keeping up with anything going on over there?
I've been checking out the Instagram page. I think it's the only way really to watch it. And I don't think they're playing locally on TV or on YouTube or anything like that. But they did put some great clips up of Zeppe this weekend.
A Zikpe?
Zeppe? I tried, you know.
A Zikpe?
Zikpe?
There you go.
Zikpe. But we got a little video here. That's grainy as hell, but it'll do. He looks tall. He looks big. Who were we comparing him to before? Eric Hicks?
Yeah, except he can shoot.
So I mean, he does. You know, the size does remind me of an Eric Hicks. That's a nice dunk. Stay on your feet.
But let's be honest. Like, you can see that 4 is not playing real tough D on him.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know that the Smith League is going to be known for excellent defense.
No, but it's nice to.
Nobody's trying to get injured or anything like that. You know what I mean?
That's right. But it's nice to see him outside of high school playing against some guys. So I know there's some other former college guys playing in that.
Outside of high school, what the hell are you talking about? He's a senior. in college.
Sorry, I was thinking somebody else.
He transferred here from Old Dominion.
I was thinking somebody else. I'm sorry. I know. I was going on a roll tonight, and then that happened.
It's all right. You know that's what I'm here for.
Trying to remember things. It's hard.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yeah, Smith League's underway. Obviously, you hope that anybody who's playing in the Smith League is not getting injured. I did see Edits by Taylor actually attended the Smith League. She went earlier, maybe over the weekend. Picked up some merch there. But good to see one of our own end up attending, and she seemed to have a good time from what I saw on Twitter.
That's being held at Purcell Marion, right?
I don't know the answer to that.
I think so. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know. I think are tickets to that or is that just like a walk-in thing? Admission $7. That's not bad.
No.
I have to check that out.
Take the boys.
Not this weekend. We're going to a pickle festival, but maybe.
That sounds dreadful.
Do you know where no, never mind. I can't remember where this pickle festival is even at.
You have gone off the rails. You started out so strong.
Tried really hard.
Started out so strong. You hate to see it.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on the Smith League?
I don't know. I mean, obviously good to see the guys have a place to play other than just running open gym. Not that that's really that much different than running open gym, but it gives them an opportunity to play in a real game situation against formidable competition.
That's true.
So I don't know, maybe a little bit different than running your playing to 10 by 1s and 2s and rotating out.
That you get to see.
So good for them to, like I said, just kind of get into the groove of playing with teammates and what have you. So I don't know. I mean, it's not like this is something new that people from the city Bearcats and even Xavier have been involved in. So
am I correct? This is the old Devereaux's League?
Probably.
Remember those? You know where you get your clothes? Devereaux's.
Everybody knows where to get their clothes. Devereaux's.
Those were the days.
Yeah, that was blast from the past.
You know what I think is coming back, by the way?
No.
The lanyards.
How you mean?
I've been to Kroger a couple times this week, and I've seen groups of high schoolers walking out of there, and they're all wearing the lanyards. That remember the ones you used to get that had like the CK, the Calvin Klein on them, or like the Nike Just Do It all around it. People didn't even have keys on them; they were just wearing the lanyards.
Yep.
I've seen it a few times this week.
Weird.
I know. Making a comeback.
I wonder if that means WWJD bracelets are coming back too.
Oh, I forgot about that. Man, I hope so.
Right around that same time.
I mean, Becky, the Pipes jeans, I heard are coming back. So the wide leg, these Jinkos, Pipes.
Okay.
Lee Pipes was the Lee brand. I had to buy the Lee brand. I couldn't afford the Jinkos.
So, getting to a different topic, because I don't know that we have any more to cover here. There hasn't been a ton going on with recruiting, and nothing to really bring up outside of. Did we talk last week about Amari Snowden? Had he already committed?
We did, yes. We talked about how he's going to. I was surprised that he would both be playing baseball and basketball. So that was.
So it's been a little quiet by comparison with the last couple weeks. Maybe that's a good thing with Chad being out of town and in California.
It just blew up while he's gone.
Although I did end up having internet issues last night at the end.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was.
You had issues during the whole thing.
Super fun.
Great interview, by the way.
Yeah,
with
that was Andre Morgan.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just calling Andre Tate. Andre Morgan. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you go check that out on the EVP.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So switching gears to baseball, because the Reds are really bad. But before we get into how bad, the Reds are pacing the lowest attendance they've had since 1984. You know what happened in 1984, Ed?
I was born.
Same.
Yeah.
So the lowest attendance of our lifetime.
With tonight being
Another
somebody said
$3 beer night.
Looks like somebody said looks like there's about 8,000 people here, 3,000 Dodgers fans.
I did see that kid Caleb tweet about there's lots of fights on $3 beer night apparently.
Are there? That might be interesting to go see.
That's what he said. He said the Reds have to stop with this $3 beer promotion. I get that Bob needs his money, but the amount of fights and people getting ejected I've seen every single Tuesday is really bad. The ushers here don't deserve what they have to put up with. Don't know that I necessarily agree with that take. Ushers, that's their job. But
well,
that's on Bob, man.
It is on Bob.
Here's the thing is you wouldn't have to have $3 beer nights. If you actually spent money on the team, people would come to watch them win.
If they were winning. Look, I'm switching my internet provider, which means I'm switching my cable provider. And if you remember earlier this year, it was last year, I switched my TV provider so that I could watch Reds games this year. I was excited about it.
Sure.
I'm now switching out. I'm not going to be watching Reds games anymore. I'll find a way of streaming it online or something like that.
Talk to Clay.
YouTube comes with MLB TV, so maybe I'll catch a game or two this year or next year. But
next year, wasn't the plan that everyone's going to Apple TV? No, that was soccer.
That's soccer.
Yeah.
Greg says that's why the Cyclones are getting rid of dollar beer nights.
Because of fights?
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, when you're encouraging fighting on the ice, can you really be upset when people are fighting off the ice?
Actually, solid point.
Just saying.
But can't we just be adults?
No. I mean, come on now.
We don't do that anymore. Gotcha.
No, since the pandemic, everyone's forgot to how to act when they're in public. Like
that
kids, adults, everyone. Have you driven around lately? I mean,
it's not good. I remember Pat McAfee saying, as we get back into society, let's remember people will punch you right in the mouth.
They're people are crazy. But yeah, it's just so disappointing that we've just completely bottomed out. We have the worst attendance ever in our life, which means that unless you're basically in your 40s, it's also the worst attendance in all of your life. Anyone listening?
No, you're right. It's not good. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. I mean, you got other teams that are being successful in the city. I mean, FC Cincinnati is doing better than they have since they joined the MLS. I think they finally got a coach, and they've got some players. Costa's damn good.
Well, even without switching sports, Cleveland is doing an awful lot without a terrible. They're not high in payroll, and they're doing very, very well.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, they may not be doing, great FC Cincinnati, and I don't know this for a fact, but I think they're probably bringing in more people than the Reds are right now without having $1 beer night and $1 hot dog night or $3 beer night or whatever that is.
$3 beer, $2 hot dogs.
Yeah. So I don't know. We gotta get some success on this team.
Well, it's going to have to start with no more written or even official statement apologies from this ownership.
Please.
You have to figure out a way to mend the burned bridge with the fans.
Please.
And I mean, I tweeted about it the other day, like the new All-Star hats. For the first time, the July 4th hats.
Saw that.
For the first time ever, I actually like the All-Star hats. I'm not buying one. it was my first Father's Day, and I thought it would be cool if I got a Father's Day hat. And then I was like, oh wait, never mind. I'm boycotting purchasing any of the Reds official merchandise.
Hey, we got somebody in the bottom. Could it be somebody we haven't seen for weeks?
I sure hope so.
Bring him in. Oh, great. We got an internet connection issue. Way to go. Way to go. Just kidding. There he is. Come on, that was good. I've been planning that all week.
Even planning photo bombing my return with a no connection thing.
It's the worst.
But you know what sucks is I've been gone so long I don't have control over the show anymore.
That is an issue because I just added a couple more things to the sounds.
I can't. I guess.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
He's gone again. He's not even in the bottom. He's gone again.
He left the studio.
And I didn't even do that. What was that?
Real funny, Ed.
That wasn't me.
Hi guys, how you been?
We were just talking about how the Reds have bottomed out on attendance and have hit. They're pacing to have the worst attendance since 1984, which was the year that Ed and I were born.
Ah, nice. They're still not the lowest attendance though in the MLB. That belongs to the Oakland A's.
Well, I mean, when you
At
close
like
off
8,300 people.
when you close off the about half of your stadium to put tarps up,
And really, you gotta think that's sold tickets, right?
Yeah, that's
So-
not people
Yeah,
actually
that's
attending.
so that's
it's
Yeah.
not
not people
people
going
that-
through the gates.
On
No,
bobblehead
that's-
games, we have like 23,000 sold.
I'm sure. I was going to say, I'm sure that the Reds aren't reporting people walking through the gates. They're reporting sold tickets as well.
Sold tickets.
Because
Unless
we've
they
all
have
seen
to.
how terrible.
Oh,
no,
they absolutely have to. So like whatever the season.
No, they don't.
I'm just saying whatever the season ticket number is. I mean, they have to, or else it looks like there's only 100 people coming to the games.
Oh, I thought you meant they have to report whoever's walking through the gates. Like, no.
Oh no! I'm saying they have to do the like. So you've got probably whatever the season ticket number is, plus
Well,
whoever else decides to come buy tickets.
The guy that Levitard has on all the time, that used to be the Marlins president. I can't think of his name right now off the top of my head. He has said that he used to just make up numbers just so when they sold the team to the Jeter purchasing company that it looked better.
That seems like
That seems like a Jeter thing to do.
like I don't know that you can do that though. Like, if,
Well,
if it's part of like your expected.
What they would do is make tickets $1 and then have a flood of tickets for $1.
Well, if you remember, that's what the Bengals used to do with Chad Ochocinco, right? They
But
used to just
people
give
were
them-
actually showing up to those games. What
Well,
he
that's
was
good.
saying
Yeah.
is they were basically purchasing their own tickets for $1.
Good point.
Like they were like through like a shell company buying all their tickets for $1.
I don't even know, man. It's
Remember
been a long
Kroger's
time.
just buying all those tickets.
It's been a long time since I listened to that episode.
I mean, it makes sense, and I mean, you can easily artificially inflate.
David Sampson, that was his name.
Okay, so 18,476 reported at tonight's game.
That's
No
not what
shot.
I'm seeing. That's no
shot.
shot.
I mean, I didn't watch it. I was at
Hold
another
on, I got a
game.
picture.
About 15,000 of them were Dodgers fans. 4 were Reds fans.
Well, that's the thing is like the Reds numbers are artificially inflated because of like the Cubs games because they have like a very diehard fan base, and then Cardinals games. That's like 35 people.
It's not good.
That doesn't look like 18,000 people to me. I mean, maybe it is.
This whole section over here is blue.
It's all spread out, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because the Dodgers are so excited that a ticket that would normally get them way up in the upper deck, they're getting when they come here to Cincinnati.
they get the diamond seats.
Yeah.
Right.
I think what was that? I mean, that was like a month and a half ago when we looked at like diamond seat prices,
I'll look them up right now.
and they were slowly tanking then, and it was like, well, maybe there's like some hope.
Your favorite ticket, StubHub or SeatGeek?
I don't know. Neither of them sponsor us, so I wouldn't use either name when
We're not
you say
using
that.
either one of those. We're just going to use a random ticketing.
Jeff, I fucking missed you.
miss you guys.
I'm so happy you're back.
Had lots of crazy stuff happen. I would have been back last week, but
I know.
then we didn't have power.
Good old Harrison.
Zero power for like 36 hours. And I spent
you have a generator.
I spent $800 on a generator that I used for I guess it was like 12. It did save all of our frozen goods. So like that was probably like $300 worth of stuff. So really I guess $500 on the generator. If you want to do it that way,
I'll take it.
Diamond box seats, 1 ticket for tomorrow night, $200, but that's in the first row. So $85 for 2 tickets. If you want to go 1 row back in the section 25.
But that's out of the diamond seats, right? So like you're not getting.
Oh, you're right. That's a scout box. You're right. I'm sorry.
I mean, those are still good seats.
Yeah, they're scout tickets.
But you're not saying but you're not getting your free beers and your free But for what'd you say? $175.
For the diamond,
85 for the scout seats.
Scout seat was $85. Yeah.
But what did you say? 200 for the diamond seats.
200 for the diamond seats.
Okay, so that's if you sit in the scout seats at 85 and then you buy 2 beers, you're at $200. So you might as well buy the ticket down in the diamond seats and drink all the beer and eat all the food you want.
Not on $3 beer night, Jeff. Tonight would not have been the night to do that. You would have losing. It was $3 beer night tonight.
I guess that would have been a loser situation, but
yeah.
Next week against the Mets.
That's 15 beers or five beers though. $15 worth.
Tomorrow night's the cheapest. The rest of them are going up to mid 200s, 300.
Who are they playing?
If I look at the Mets for next week.
But that's got to be because people are trying to recoup whatever money they can, right? So like you're going to list them this far out at that, and then maybe it slowly comes down.
Day of, yeah.
Like you gotta hope, like, okay, people are gonna look at it and be like, that's normally a $400 ticket. All right, it's $300. Like,
here we go. Diamond box against the Marlins on the 26th of July. $177 each.
That's probably worth it.
Not bad. I mean, for the experience of it, just to be in the diamond seats, like,
because during the regular season, like I'll never have the money to sit in diamond seats. Have you been in diamond seats, Ed?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Michelle won them at work. Michelle won them at work, and I remember sitting down. I think we took Paul and Tony. Nice. I think we sat down, and this lady comes up to me. Can I get you something at the concession stand? I was like, no, I'll be good. I'm gonna get something in just a minute. And I was like, wait a minute, did you just ask me if I want something at the concession stand? Like, you're gonna go get it? She's like, yeah. And I was like, 2 beers, please.
Did you tip?
Got a tip there.
Did you tip, Ed?
Yeah.
He waited until the end of the game.
I'm a good tipper.
20% on the nose to the penny.
Pickup. Like,
do you when you're out eating somewhere, Ed? Do you get your iPhone calculator out and
just
you calculate the tip?
I just do it based off what I think they deserve.
Calculator?
Oh. I just based off what I think they deserve.
Where do you start?
I mean, bare minimum is $2.
Do you tip carry out?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, like, where do you start percentage wise?
I don't look at the percentage. I just tip off of what I think they deserve. So
you start, like, when you go in, you sit down, bam, waiter gets $2 right off the rip.
For example, I went and got to the barber for the first time, right?
Yeah.
It was $25 for the cut, $15 for the beard trim or something like that.
Yeah.
Tipped him $15.
Oh.
It was good conversation. He took a good job. There was like a towel thing going on. He did the straight razor. Huh? What he said? No, Deshaun Watson stuff here. But I tipped him $15. It was a good conversation. He did a good job. Tonight, Michelle picked up from the Chili Hut food truck.
Okay.
It was $13 for 2 3-ways. $5.
All right.
So
congratulations.
No percentage.
Congratulations, by the way, for graduating to unlimited data.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
So proud of you.
You realize, Ed, have you ever had unlimited data?
Back in the day when unlimited data was like actually unlimited data.
Back when
Like,
it was
did
like
you go?
3G.
Did you go? I was gonna say, do you realize that,
Droid.
like, they had unlimited data? They retired it. You had to be grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Then they brought it back and then retired it and kind of like changed it a little bit again.
And then they didn't
And now
grandfather
you're
you back in.
and now you're finally on unlimited data.
Yeah, I did the
Third
whole
go around.
I did the whole thing, man. You didn't hear this before. I got the home internet, the Verizon
We
wireless
didn't
home.
talk about it on the show. We talked about that on
Yeah.
the pre-show.
I got the Verizon home internet and unlimited data. Actually, because I got unlimited data, I got half off on the Verizon home internet. So
Is the Verizon home internet hardwired? Or are you rocking like 5G home internet?
no, they send you a modem and everything.
5G home internet.
It's like Starlink.
Try
modem.
beyond unlimited, life changing.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
That's probably a Verizon plan,
Sure.
something like that.
But yeah, I
Doing just fine on my actual unlimited plan.
so is mine. It's the 5G start
I'm just
unlimited
saying,
plan.
I was responding to your brother.
Oh, okay, cool.
Good work, Ed. All right, boys.
So Jeff, let's hear your thoughts. It's been what, 5 weeks since we've had you on.
Yeah, since you've had me on. Hi, my name's Jeff Snowden. I'm around every now and then. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts with what the hell is going on with this team? That at this point, have they lost already? Is it over?
The Reds game?
Yes.
Yes,
I
it's
wasn't
over.
watching
Andy's
it.
up.
8-2.
Andy and Sam look here right now.
They lost 8-2.
8-2.
I mean, I don't think anybody in their right mind expected this team once everything started transpiring out of the lockout. I don't think anybody thought this team was going to be like world beaters, right? And we were all upset, and we did several shows on the upset nature of the lack of transparency into this team, which I still feel like we have like zero kind of. There's no public plan that is, out there to the fans to get us to say, yeah, like, all right, I'll deal with this crappy season. Right? I mean, like, it's bad.
It's
You
bad.
start the season off 3-22, and maybe something, and there's injuries that are just like flying up everywhere. I get that. I mean, what, they just move Lodolo move Lodolo to the 60-day DL before the game today? Is that right?
Yes.
Because that's why they
moved him.
activated Donovan Solana.
Yep.
Correct. That was how they
So
played with the roster.
I mean, at this point, it's gotten to like a point of like, I hate to say I don't care, but I literally, like, I don't get up and look at box scores. If they happen to be on TV, I'll still put them on. I mean, although the other night I did watch an FC game, which I never thought I would say that.
FC Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Was it Saturday night's game when they tied 1-1?
Yeah, it ended in a tie. It's kind of silly to me.
Get 1 point for that.
At least do like a shootout.
Thank you.
At the end, but whatever. But as far as the Reds go, like, I have this, like, I don't care. I don't care where they're at right now. I know that, like, obviously, like, the players, do they really even at this point care? I know the professional athletes and all that, but like, they're still getting paid. So I'm not real. There's nothing that appears to be exciting to look forward to in the future right now. Like, I know there's like some good things going on. We seem to have some decent young pitchers that are doing all right, but Hunter Green starts games really well, and then he's got like one of the highest ERAs in like innings 4 through 9 or something like that, like for second half of his, maybe it's like the second wave through an order, and you're gonna have that. He does tend to every now and then. I know he's got a lot of movement on his fastball. People talk about the horizontal movement of his fastball, but he does occasionally, like a lot of guys. But it seems like when you're throwing 100 miles an hour and you make that belt high, laser beam straight
right down the pipe
fastball mistake.
Yep.
it is deposited 450 feet the other direction. And that's going to happen when you got somebody throwing hard, right?
Well, and that's been probably the biggest knock on him this season so far is just
he needs to develop another pitch.
Correct. A is any secondary pitch, and B just location in general. Which again, you're going to have that with a guy going through first season in the majors, rookie jitters. You're going to have that with just not really. Who's the veteran on this staff? I guess Mike Minor, and he hasn't been pitching for the vast majority of the season.
No.
Tyler Malley, Luis Castillo, maybe.
But those guys, and that's the other thing. Is like you got to think like if you're gonna have a plan, right? You're gonna have this plan that is okay. We're not gonna be able to afford superstars. Like we're not gonna have these ridiculously like long Joey Votto style contracts anymore. Like that's not gonna happen, or it shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen.
You're gonna have to get everything. You have to squeeze all the juice out of the orange early on, and move on. And I get it. They're gonna have to probably restock with some of these guys, and they're gonna have to take a hard look at who is gonna be around and effective whenever it is that they decide that they want to be competitive again, when they want to start this competitive streak. And I know we talked about 2024.
I think everyone circled 2024 as the year that they should try and at least be competitive again, because at that point you're going to have 2 years under Hunter Green's belt at this level, 2 years under Lodolo's belt at this level. You should still have, at least I would think they're not going to sign extensions for a Tyler Stevenson or a Jonathan India at this point in time, as they're trying to build around that 2024 year. Maybe wait and let somebody else pay them at that point, because I can't imagine they extend either of them.
They're going to be expensive.
Correct.
And that's the thing. Like if they aren't going to, if they're not going to go that route. And I think we've all kind of made that call that we don't want to see.
But you should have them on the cheap until I would think 2026, both of them.
Yeah. I don't know what they're. Ed, can you look that up?
What was that again? I'm sorry.
Like what the contract situation? What's the contract situation with those two? When are they?
India and Stevenson.
India and Stevenson.
Graphs, right? That's where you get that information, right?
I think Google. So. They have, or you can just Google it. There is a whole website, and I have it bookmarked on another computer. But, yeah, and then and you got a guy like Graham Ashcraft who started out like lights out, and then he's hit some bumps, but he's a new guy, so like you kind of expect that stuff to happen. So I think you've got some bright things there, but yeah,
Jonathan India is on a 1 year, $760,000.
Well, but when is his arbitration up?
Oh,
yeah, should be over on like the side.
Stay on Fangraphs. I'll look it up.
Keep going.
Okay.
I don't know. At some point this season, though, I would think that you have to move
Castillo.
You have
Probably
to move
Malley.
You have to move Malley. You have to move Drury.
You have to.
While the iron's hot.
Kyle Farmer.
Why wouldn't
or whatever you can get?
Anything. And you have to Tommy Pham.
Yeah.
All of those guys should be rental players for any team in contention, even if it's for a bag of balls.
Yeah, I mean, you got to move on from them, and that I think that's kind of. I will say this: I do not think that they signed Brandon Drury thinking that he is anybody that they could use as a true trade chip.
Well, and
he's
everyone's talking about San Diego with Manny Machado going down.
Yeah. So what was that? So that's like a bonus. Drury's like a bonus, right? Okay, so so there you go.
2026. Like I said, through 2026, they'll be under arbitration.
Who else?
Tyler Stevenson, same thing. They both came in last year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, that's where I'm at. I'm very indifferent on the Reds right now. I know that potentially.
I say move Mike Minor. Get that dude out of here.
Well, who wants him though? He's not even good.
Why did we even want him for $10 million?
I mean, he
horrible contract.
He's like Wish.com Wade Miley.
Yeah.
Like,
Walmart bargain.
I mean,
bin.
I realize I don't
Wade
even know.
Miley.
I think Wade Miley came off the DL and went right back on the DL all in one start though. So I guess you've got at least like some starts out of minor, but
and you could say the same thing for old boy we traded to the Twins.
Sonny Gray.
Yes, thank you.
Like I haven't even followed what he's doing. I know that Suarez
Injured.
and Winker are in the not so goodness of Seattle.
When you take the best players from a shitty team, you end up with guys that are not going to be great on your.
I am excited about
the good teams.
I am excited about Ellie De La Cruz.
Well, and I was going to say,
been lightweight following some of that through our boy Clay. He's the best minor league source for Reds information out there.
At some point, you're going to have to
baseball.
You're going to have to bring up Ellie De La Cruz. At some point, you're going to have to bring up Jose Barrero. At some point, you're going to have to.
But see, like I haven't checked in the last like probably week and a half.
Of course, that's when you move the other pieces, though. You have to get them out of here so they can be everyday starters. You don't want them up here just riding pine. That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, Ellie De La Cruz is probably a little bit out. He's still at Dayton, so maybe another year. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you do just bring him up.
Do you trade Nick Senzel?
If somebody wants him.
If you can get anything for him?
If somebody wants him, maybe change scenery will do well for him.
The Dodgers are missing a center fielder right now.
Like, I don't know. It's such a, like, they're in a very messy spot with the guys that they have, and it really is like,
because you're going to end up getting fleeced by anybody that you trade with because they know that you're trying to move everything.
They know you're just dumping stuff, so
Correct.
like keep dumping it, get whatever you can get for it, move on. You can't. The Reds also can't just like afford to like hold on to people and not get anything for them.
I agree.
Like, you've got to do something.
There's some interesting comments here in the chat.
In 2020,
one from Geoff saying, "Did Aaron just say brother?"
I did because
he misunderstood.
And he said, "There's no way that Ed and Jeff are brothers."
Gregory Joseph is Ed's brother.
Yeah,
blood brother.
So that's where I'm at with the Reds. I would like them to be in a lot better position than they are. They're not. Maybe 2024 they can start being serious about adding pieces that are, that'll at least. What are they at? Did anybody check Lance McAllister's tweet of the day today to find out what they're on pace?
It's Mo Egger. I got you. Hold on.
What his tweet of the day is, like what they're on pace. They got. I think they probably have to go like 50 and 46 or something now.
The Reds are now on pace to finish 56 and 106 and go under their posted win total. They must go 50 and 45 over the final 95 games for winning over tickets to cash.
I don't know what they're. So yeah.
Oh, he made an error on Sunday.
Kick Nerby says, at what point do we start having the conversation about if Senzel should be sent down to AAA?
What point do we talk about trading Senzel? I know last week or maybe the week before I said I thought that he was injured, and then like 2 days later he really was injured. So I think it's time to get rid of him too.
Ed, you missed. You weren't on that show, but Ed brought up. Who's hitting real bad or who's been real bad lately? Nick Senzel. Chad chimes in. He's on a 7-game hit streak, Ed.
No. It was I said he was injured, and Chad chimed in and said he just hit tonight, Ed.
Yeah, and was on a 7-game hit streak.
Okay.
That sounds about on brand. I'm glad nothing's changed.
One of us has to keep up brand here.
Good God.
I mean, at what point do we talk about dumping David Bell and hiring like Joe Girardi or?
I never ever.
What's the guy's name who just got fired after he got a mohawk?
Joe Madden.
Joe Madden. You imagine showing up, you just shaved your head into a mohawk, you show up
fire your team up.
And
they've been winning games since he got fired, though, haven't they?
I mean, they dropped 14 in a row.
True.
The Reds started.
You gotta feel like a real asshole, though. You gotta feel like a real asshole, though, going into the president's office. You just shaved your head into a mohawk. You're like 60 years old, and they're like,
dude,
I think we're going a different direction.
Do you think that's why they fired him? Like, he walked in with a mohawk, and they were like, "Yo, like something has gone off the rocker here with this guy. Like, we gotta let's just fire him. We were gonna talk to him, but let's just fire him."
Exactly.
That's the thing about Joe Madden, though. He's always been like quirky, fun guy, right? Like, I'm wearing glasses that are non-prescription because they're hip and trendy. Like, get out of here, Joe Madden.
Because he's wild thing. No, but like. You think really they were like, hey, like, let's talk to him, let's see what his plan is. Like, we've lost a lot in a row here. Like, let's see what we got. And
that's the only mohawk you can go with, though, right?
And then he shows up with a mohawk, and they're like, hold on a minute, like, sit out there for a second. They like went back in there, like, listen, like, we don't even know what his plan is. This isn't good. Like, we gotta let him go, but we also need to maybe refer him to some services so that he. Like, something is very wrong with this man.
Joe, just want to let you know we're letting you go, but we're going to go ahead and keep you on your health care for the next 6 months. So
keep you on.
By the way, here's the number to services.
Exactly.
I don't
know. But for real though, like,
my stapler.
And I know you can't blame David Bell for like everything because he's not been given a lot, and I get that. But like,
here's the thing: is you don't fire David Bell. Exactly. First off, who are you going to bring in? Nobody wants nobody wants this on their record. Second, why would you pay? Why would you pay more than one person to do this job? If you fire David Bell, you have to pay someone else, and still keep paying David Bell. So there's no shot in hell. I mean,
there's got to be something in there, like some clause, like the team is really bad. Like,
no,
we're not paying you.
The only thing that there's clause is if you do something Robert Kraft, Deshaun Watson-esque.
Man, probably. I don't know. It's not real good, and it doesn't look like it's going to get good anytime soon. So if you want to go down there and catch home run balls, you literally only have to compete with Caleb. So
accurate.
Go get some home run balls. Go get a couple home run balls or
foul balls.
Well, no one heard anything you said.
I said I might have to do it.
Oh man, if there's ever a video that comes out of Ed just total like full body splashing on Caleb to get a ball,
I'm here for that.
I'll make it a GIF. We'll get that thing trending.
You guys buy my ticket. I'm there. Let's just go together.
What do we have to buy your ticket for? It's $4.
I want that diamond seat.
You wouldn't be in a diamond seat to catch a home run ball.
That's the opposite direction, Ed.
You're going the wrong way.
But I could get something to eat and then go over there.
No, you don't have to get anything to eat if you're in the diamond seats. None of the things you're saying make sense.
No, he's saying he would go into the diamond seat eatery, get food, and then leave and go sit in the bleachers.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
What? Ed would be the guy that would pay $200 for a diamond seat to eat like one hot dog and then go out and sit in the outfield.
I also think if I had the diamond seats, I could hold a sign up that says "Pardon the punctuation."
Good luck telling the people around you that you're holding a sign up that you're not.
What people are around me? There's nobody there.
There's still people in the diamond seats.
The diamond seats are usually pretty full.
Jeff, we had this conversation the other day. Have you ever had have you been in a suite?
No. That sounds like a hoity-toity baseball fandom.
I said the same thing.
I've been in a suite twice.
It was given to me.
Mr. Diamond seats and 2 suites.
It was given to me. But again, Michelle won the diamond seats.
Saying we need to buy him a ticket. Get out of here.
Yeah.
These were all given to me.
I'm struggling to scratch together $3 to sit in the bleachers, Ed.
Yeah, Jeff's paying like $200 for a full tank of gas.
Yeah, that hurts.
Hey, I paid $86 2 weeks ago for a tank of gas. Haven't had fill up since.
You work from home.
Yeah,
I work in the office too. I go in the office 3 days a week.
You work from home, Ed. All right. Moving on. You to talk about my $185 bill for my gas tank every like 4 days.
Thanks a lot, Exxon.
You chose to live out all the way out.
You're right.
God's country.
That's true. And gas costs like $1.79 when we made that decision.
Unreal. So I do want to switch gears here, I guess, because it's really depressing to talk any more Reds.
Yeah, I don't need to talk anymore about those guys.
But before we change topics from the Reds, the last thing I want to bring up is the All-Star voting, which came out. And, woof, 60 miles a day. Ooh, I don't even want to think about what gas would be like. I feel like I'm driving about that if I need to get into Athens to get into
Jeff, what are you about? 40 miles a day?
I'll tell you in like
20 there, 20 back?
Nope, it's 52 miles a day.
52 miles a day.
So All-Star voting, that came out. And, of course, the Reds are really bad with their All-Star voting. Tyler Stephenson's the highest.
And he's not going to play in it, so.
So who's going to be in it?
He's fourth among catchers.
Can he still be a representative, even though he's injured? Like, would he be like the Reds representative there, but they're like, he just sits on the bench?
I don't actually know. We've never really been in this situation since they started that rule with the teams having to have a representative.
I would vote for Kyle Farmer.
So I would not vote for Kyle Farmer. But it's really bad. Brandon Drury is our second leading.
Yeah, he's having a good year. It's like the year that like Cozart got made it in and then got a free donkey.
Donkey. Maybe Joey Votto will get Drury a donkey.
I don't think you will. I haven't really, ever since Joey Votto stopped making TikToks, like.
He just made a TikTok a couple weeks ago with that little girl. It was last week.
I saw that.
He had the gritty. I'm also very jealous that my boys can do the gritty better than I can.
Wow.
That's the least surprising thing I've heard you say this entire show.
You better tweet out a video you doing the gritty.
I don't have a video of me doing the gritty. Everybody okay?
Is that dog okay?
Was that a body? Was that a body?
That was a baseball bag coming downstairs.
Sound like a body in a travel bag.
So this tweet came from Doug Gray. Tyler Stephenson has 370,453 votes. No other Red has 100,000. Raise your hand if you pick Brandon Drury as the Red with the second most All-Star votes on June 21st when the season began.
No. Clay Snowden probably did.
Also, only 3 Reds made the list. They have 553,921 votes combined. 16 players in the National League have more votes than all of the Reds combined.
Well, I mean, did you expect it to be any different?
No. We're in uncharted waters, though. When was the last time you can remember a team being this fucking bad?
I can't answer that.
I can't.
Because it doesn't exist. Not in our lifetime.
1984, apparently.
I thought we were going to stop talking about how depressing this is.
I know.
You did say that, yeah.
I'm sorry. Jeff, before you join the show, last thing I want to bring up before we switch topics entirely. What can ownership do, in your opinion, to try and rebuild a fence or a bridge that they completely set on fire? And I don't know. I mean, I feel like they pissed on the ashes, if I'm being honest. But
I mean, my grandma used to tell me that if you burn a bridge, you can't go back across it. There's honestly nothing that this ownership group can do for me. I don't care.
Would you start buying merchandise or going to games again, even if they got good?
I mean,
that's what I'm asking. What makes you feel better as a fan to get more on board with this team? Is it just winning?
What did the Bengals do to get you back on board?
I was never off board with the Bengals.
No, I mean, I've always been a Bengals fan. I mean, we got rid of our season tickets to the Bengals, but to me it was always different with the Bengals. So like I didn't feel. I mean, I had a feeling that like Mike Brown was cheap, right? Because everybody always said he was.
Yes.
And so like, but I don't feel like he never came out and like attacked the fans to my recollection. Like, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I also like the Reds are different for me. Like football, I enjoy football a lot, and I've grown to like it even more. And that's not even just like Bengals football or like NFL or anything like that. Football has grown on me. I've always been a football fan. It just didn't have the same spot like in my heart that Reds baseball did.
Well, you're
right,
also
like
a
growing
baseball
up,
player
like
by trade, right?
Right, like I mean, I played baseball for a long time. Like my brothers
Definitely
played.
not a football player.
Like I played football for 2 years. I was very, very tiny. Things did not go well for me on the football field. I enjoyed watching my brothers and my buddies play, but whatever. Baseball, and in particular Cincinnati Reds baseball, held a very different spot in my heart.
We saw them win a World Series in our lifetime.
Yep.
Right. And then and to have an ownership group that has a guy, and they're like, all right with the fact, like come out with like the sorriest apologies about it, like, oh my bad, I shouldn't have said it. Like, and wait, and you wait months to say that,
and you only say that to the season ticket holders,
to like the 15 season ticket holders that were in the stands that day.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a lot that they would have to do, a lot, and it would really need to start with coming out and having a plan, being transparent, which we've talked about from the jump.
If Bob's not going to sell, I think he has to dismiss his son as being tied to the team.
That guy's got to go. Bill's got to go.
Bill's
got to go.
That's how you have to start, right?
You have to. I'm sorry.
Feels like it.
I think if that happens, and then Bob comes out and says, "Look, this is like I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna commit to funding this team to a level. Like, obviously, we get it, Bob. You're not as rich as all of the other owners are. Sure. Maybe you need to go find another partner."
Well, can you imagine if Bell had said the same things?
He would be gone before the microphone turned off.
If Bell said the same things or about the fans or even about ownership being mismanaging this team, this roster, the payroll, all of it, like I know that Bob's cheap, but he would fire him and find somebody from the Bats to bring up or something along that nature. Like, I can't imagine if Bell had done the same thing that Phil Castellini did as an owner, that he would still have a job with this organization.
I agree.
And I think that's where you have to look in the mirror and wonder, what have I done? With
and like
long history, it's a history team with just a fan base that's we just want to win. And you're not fielding a competitive team at this point.
Like, even if like, I don't know, even if the team sucks, but you feel like they made a good faith effort
last year.
Well, last year, even before that, like the COVID year, right?
Yeah,
they played 60 games, but like they made an effort and things didn't work out.
Go back to the Dietrich Puig year. We weren't good that year. It was fun.
But you feel like they made a good faith effort to be a competitive baseball
Correct,
team.
Because they were spending money. And again, like you're not going to put fans in those stands without at least trying to field a fun and competitive team with guys that people want to enjoy. And that's why you have to bring up, you have to trade guys to get out of the way and bring up Ellie De La Cruz and Barrero to get guys behind these people, like to get fans behind these people. But again, I think it has to start with, you have to dismiss Phil Castellini out of that front office.
I mean, I guess if you do that now, I mean, is it like too little too late on that?
No, I don't think it is. I think keeping him in there is every day that I'm still
not buying hats and not like.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see that fire like July 4th hat?
We already talked about it before you were here, but yeah, that's another one that I've tweeted about that I will not buy, even though it's literally my favorite like holiday hat they have ever.
I saw some people bashing them, and I think they're great.
I think they're fantastic.
I like them.
Well, you've also purchased several over the years of like Memorial Day or Labor Day or whatever holiday hat that you've had. I know that you've had several of them. But this is the first one I've actually liked. And no, not for me. So
Not
I don't
today,
know.
Bob.
I don't want to keep.
I mean, I'm not going to buy it, but
Correct. Same thing with the Father's Day hat. I'm not going to buy it simply because, it would have been a cool thing to commemorate my first Father's Day, but maybe we'll wait until next year when I'm, baby's here and all of that. We'll see. But, just I can't
I
do
did
it.
get an India jersey.
If you got it from China, you didn't give anything to the pocketbooks of.
I did.
Yep. Well, I mean, you gave money to China, so.
It came from New Jersey.
After it got shipped here.
The only shipping label that showed up was New Jersey.
You don't think they reboxed that?
I didn't know. I'm saying like I didn't even get the like. Normally when I order from there, it comes.
Oh yeah. The tracking says
Normally when I order from there.
Where do you think my Evan McPherson and Logan Wilson jerseys came from?
Unbelievable.
I was at Rally House yesterday. They had Evan.
I can't afford $300 or whatever it is for a Stitch jersey.
The Bengals jerseys aren't that anymore. They're like $150.
No, not for like the heavy duty. Not for the on field replicas.
Yeah, like
no,
$150.
they're like $300.
I have one. It's
I have one.
$150.
No, that's the mid tier. That's not the elite.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I have a Maluga one over here.
I'm not going to be wearing it with shoulder pads, so I don't need the actual field replica.
I'm just telling you, Aaron, my one that was put together in another country and then came here
in a sweatshop
looks pretty close.
Unbelievable.
Pretty close.
All right. So switching gears. I do have something to bring up in regards to the Bengals.
Larry Ogunjobi.
He's gone.
It's not official yet.
Is that what you're bringing up?
No, I wasn't going to bring that up, but we can talk about it.
Gronkowski's not coming to the Bengals.
Correct. Also not what I wanted to talk about. I was going to bring up friend of the show, Commissioner Yaz, was on a podcast discussing the guy that she was doing this podcast with. I don't recall his name because he's a Dolphins fan and clearly out of his entire mind. But he says there are 30, count them, and he listed off actually 35, I believe, receivers better than T. Higgins currently in the NFL.
I don't believe it.
He listed Antonio Brown as a receiver better than T. Higgins.
No.
Antonio Brown's not doing anything more. He's working with Kanye.
Hunter Renfrow and Jalen Waddle as receivers better than T. Higgins.
Like, did he just go to every team and pick like?
I think he looked up a top 35 list or a fantasy list and just went down the names, just eliminating T. Higgins from the conversation.
That's wild.
Who is this guy?
The guy that she does a podcast with. I'm not really sure.
What did she have to say about that?
She wasn't allowed to talk. He got mad when she tried to interject.
Sounds like this guy's anger problems. I'd like him to come on the podcast.
But 35 receivers in the NFL? I mean, she tried to say
essentially what every team's. So he's saying like every team's number one receiver plus like a few teams number two receivers.
I mean, essentially, but there were some teams where he listed more than one guy, like
all their guys,
Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
No way. I would say over half the league would take T. Higgins as their number one receiver.
I don't know that there's. I guess you could argue Amari Cooper, but I don't know that there's another team in our division that has a receiver better than T. Higgins.
And Mr. Inman with the disrespect, 1,800 yards in the first 2 seasons. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, Chase Claypool did
No,
say.
Chase Claypool clarified that and said that that was a goal.
Okay.
I guess after he got torched for it.
Yeah, everybody shit on him. Everybody shit on
him. He's like, I like to have goals that people think are unattainable. Like,
This guy's name is Tabs. He's the chief morale officer at NFL Game Day.
I don't believe that.
Oh, thegameday.com, not NFL Game Day.
Oh, the Game Day. That's what that's a company that sends her to like all the
games and stuff.
All the games and stuff.
Tabs, if you're listening to this, I would like you to come on the podcast and try to defend this. Hey, but Bengalorian's listening.
Maybe.
Come on to the podcast and defend this. I should be talking over here. Come on the podcast and defend this.
Okay.
I don't have to do any research, and I already know that your list is shit. And I don't do research.
We know.
I was just about to say, Ed, if you're challenging somebody to come on the show, you need to have the
no, I won't do any research because he don't have to do research. His list is shit.
He got maybe 8 receivers down, listed CeeDee Lamb as a receiver better than T. Higgins, and she interjected and said, CeeDee Lamb, are you kidding me? No. And that's when he got mad and said basically that she can't interrupt him. And then he continued to spout off about 20, 25 more names.
It's just like that blows my mind.
Well, it's kind of like
that's a horribly bad take.
So is that take worse than LaShawn McCoy, who this week said that Kenny Pickett and Joe Burrow are the same?
Man,
Where have you been?
I've been trying to cleanse my mind of social media.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah, that's awful.
LaShawn McCoy said that he believes that Kenny Pickett and Joe Burrow are the same. He sees no difference between the two of them.
I saw a really funny Kenny Pickett meme again with like a little bitty hand giving a big hand high five, and it was like after the first touchdown that he throws or something. And it was like him and forget who they said the hand was, but it was a normal adult hand, and then like one of those like plastic. Tiny hands. I don't
know what Ed's doing, flailing about and unplugging cords, and
he's struggling over there.
Yeah. Am I back?
Yep.
I was moving my mic and I accidentally unplugged the cord, and this is really difficult to plug back in. But we're back. Hey, we're back. Anyways, Tabs, your list is shit.
Yeah, we covered that.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure I got that out there.
I like it when we get angry, Ed.
So going back to Larry Ogunjobi stuff, with him visiting the Steelers and BJ Hill he had the eyes on a tweet by Willie Lutz, I believe it was, in regards to bringing Ogunjobi back, and Bengals Twitter went a little crazy about that. I still think there's a real possibility that Ogunjobi lands back here with Cincinnati.
See, like from the tweet that I saw when I was like looking today, it made it sound like it was like a done deal, like he'd already signed. So
I just saw that he was visiting. I didn't see anything past that.
So. Like what I saw, like the one I saw mentioned something about like with him going there, like he's played for every team in the AFC North except for the Ravens.
That's true.
So,
I don't know. Obviously, I don't think any of us can. I know I can't wait for the NFL season to get started, especially with all the Bearcats that are scattered around the league at this point, even in our own division here in the AFC North. But I just a lot of crazy takes out there right now with it being June and the NBA season is over. The NFL season is in a lull. NCAA has nothing going on for football or basketball right now, really, outside of commitments from recruits. So it's and here in Cincinnati, especially, the Reds are terrible. So what else do we talk about? A middling FCC team, sure.
I thought they started playing really well or something.
They're playing better than they have in the past. Yeah, they're doing good.
A middling FCC team.
Okay.
Ed, do you have any like insight on that?
On FC Cincinnati?
Okay. We'll move
Yeah,
on.
I mean, they tied 1-1, as Aaron talked about earlier. They tied 1-1 on Saturday. Acosta.
I didn't talk about that.
Oh, we talked about this morning. At some point tonight, we said something about this.
I mentioned that I actually flipped on an FCC game or an FC game instead of like looking for anything else.
Okay, well, that happens. Their coach is really good, better than coaches that we've had in the past, at least MLS coaches that we've had in the past. I mean, they're hustling.
We miss Coach Koch.
They're out there playing hard. Acosta was in some health and safety protocol on Saturday, so he didn't get to play. There are, I think, 3 players nominated for the All-Star game right now, which is really nice. But yeah, I mean, they're playing decent soccer. They're out there on the pitch just getting it done.
Geoff, I can't get behind a team that I can't pronounce people's names. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, this guy's on the team now whose names you can pronounce.
Sure. For now. Until you can't. Outside of that, Jeff, you would have enjoyed the interview we had last week.
Yeah, I know.
With Griffin Merritt. It was a good one. Bearcats related. You haven't been on in 5 weeks. Any commitments that you want to comment on?
No, I'm just really excited that, I mean, I think we all realized, and I actually made a prediction that we would end when that obviously, like, that's looking all the way out to 23. But I picked the number on the head because JT Smith asked. He's like, "Where do you like? What range do you think?" And I came hard with a number, and I said I think they'll end at like 23. Only because you look at it like, yeah, like we're getting a lot of these like early commitments. With the way the landscape is, I still kind of get a little like, it's nice to like see them rolling in now, but let's pump the brakes and see who all of a sudden starts like offering like stupid NIL deals when they can't fill like a slot that they need or a spot that they have, you know. And I'm not saying that like these kids are like wavering back, like, you know, like they aren't loyal, but money does some crazy things if people look at LIV golf.
My money don't jiggle.
Right, so
I like the way you wiggle.
that's weird, Ed. So
Not you.
Probably refrain from, you know, being overly excited at this point. It is good, obviously. Like they're in a place that we're happy to see those things start to take shape. My feeling on it is let's see what happens with the season this year, and see if that causes some changes one way or another. You know, they come out, they have a crazy good year, they go to a New Year's Six bowl. You know, maybe they pull a few more. Maybe some of those recruits, maybe their stars and ratings change. As it stands right now, I think, what are they like averaging like 88 points or something, 87 high on the points per recruit.
I can tell you here in a second, actually. 87.57.
Okay, so 87 high on that. So
It's
already goes down. It's
already our best recruiting class ever.
Oh, absolutely. And I, you know, we've discussed this in the past, that it seemed like sometimes like there would be a 4-star kid or like a high 3-star kid, and he would sign with UC, and suddenly he was a high 2-star kid. And you're like, wait a minute, like literally he's doing the same thing that, you know, like, he's actually having a better year this year than he did last year when he committed as a as a high 3-star just last week, and now all of a sudden you've taken a star from this kid. So
Well, the
we know
crazy
that
shit
it's-
now is you see some of the guys that Cincinnati's going after that they've offered, and then you start to see the Alabama's offer or the Ohio State's offer or the LSU's offer, and all of a sudden Luke Fickell seems to be ahead of the curve
Well,
more
here's the
often than
thing,
not.
and we've talked about it before, and I'm going to talk about it again. You've got a guy like, I don't even say like Luke. I don't even say Luke Fickell. I'm just going to say the coaching staff that has been assembled
Yes.
at UC has been able to take kids that are rated in the 2-3 star range
Des Ritter, Sauce
and
Gardner.
send
Right
them
there.
to the NFL. We talked about it on the NFL on the draft stuff when we went through all that. So you've got kids that are that look at UC and say, "Hey, I can go there. I can develop." They've already shown that they can develop players at that school. So I can go there, and I'm already,
What the shit?
what? Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh man,
Hi, boys.
hi Chad.
How you doing?
What a note! I had some
Good,
entrance
yourself?
music or something.
Jeff's back.
Hi, Jeff. Welcome back.
Hi.
I had to come in and say hi. I've missed you.
I had some galactic fried chicken.
I
last
know.
week.
I heard.
On Sunday, I was
The whole box.
literally- I opened up the thing and it was like not open until 11:30, and I was like, I'm so hungry right now.
Hi, Kelly. I saw her moseying around back there.
He's back there somewhere, down the hallway.
So then I had to order it, and then it showed
And
up
then
pretty quick.
smashed
It was like 45 minutes that it took for the
From Dayton, like they make everything as
Well,
you order, so
the
it's
Uber
pretty good.
Eats person, was pretty quick on picking it up once it was ready for pickup per their little app that they got there.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't take a bite out of it because it smells so good.
Uh,
Point.
Well, when you're stuck riding in the car with it and you can't eat it until you get
Yeah.
home, that's not easy.
No,
yeah,
I mean, he would never get to eat it because he's a Uber Eats guy.
there's no way I could be an Uber Eats guy.
Yeah, I just want to eat everything.
Yeah, I'd show me I'll tell them to give you like a discount, like I ate half your.
That's my
Yeah,
bad. That's my
that
bad.
job is.
It's hard.
What the heck?
What are we doing, Ed?
Those chicken tenders, God,
They hit different.
and they're enormous. Like I was set for the day. I don't think I ate dinner.
You're not ready for dinner when
I
you
didn't
when
eat
you
it.
go there. If you go for lunch, you're not ready for dinner.
I didn't need dinner. And I didn't have to
Right.
get ready. I didn't have to get ready for it or anything. I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed because I'm in a food coma still from 12 hours ago.
What you guys talking about?
Bearcats.
Bearcats.
I don't know anything about anything. Not tonight. Not today. Maybe
Aaron,
by Monday, I'll be back in the saddle.
You go visit your buddy Mick.
Mick was golfing, so I didn't get to see Mick today.
It's rude.
But I did get to see Coach Savino.
Hey,
He
there you go.
got out the UCLA golf court and gave me the official visit tour of campus. Walked me through the
nice.
locker rooms and Pauley Pavilion and the new practice facility.
Yeah.
It's a good
Got
day.
to-
Then
got
we
to
went
see
to
what-
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in West Hollywood.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Delicious.
Did
The
you
best
leave it?
waffle I've ever had.
Did you leave any UC gear tucked away somewhere?
No, I didn't.
A recruit pulls out a thing like, "Hey, this is pretty sweet." And there's like a whole bunch of UC shit in there.
Just leave an envelope addressed to Isaiah Collier on the golf cart.
Like, make sure he gets this. He's like, "What is that?" Like, don't worry about it.
No, I don't worry about it.
Open in
said-
case of emergency.
You saved that for USC, right?
Right.
Just some
Roscoe's
fried
chicken and waffles, though. Those are the best waffles I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Really?
Because they weren't like the big, fluffy Belgian kind. They were kind of thin
Oh, like
and
Anglos?
like homemade batter. and they were delicious. So I posted a picture of it on Twitter, and like 2 minutes later, Dermar's in my messages. He's like, I am so pissed off right now. And then I was like, dude, it's the best waffle I've ever had. And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they put crack in the syrup.
Possibility.
And I was like, I'm not ruling it out. Like, I just had it, and I'm still thinking about it. So it's possible, completely possible.
Joe Rogan.
No, Jonathan, I gotta go back and I gotta get some pancakes. It's just 5 o'clock free Pancake Friday. Or waffles. Sorry. But
awesome.
No, it was a good day. We went down to the beach for a little bit after we got home, and Kelsey goes to the beach every day. She just made sure everybody knew. She's laying on the couch behind me. And then got some pizza.
Nice.
Pizza.
It was pretty for LA. Like you don't expect great pizza out here, but it was New York style. It was pretty good.
Local.
Like a local,
Yeah.
like a one-off
I
shop.
only do. It's called Fat Tony's, I think. And
That sounds like a good place to get
how
pizza.
could you go wrong with Fat Tony's? Like,
Yeah.
so, all in all, it's been great. We're going to San Diego tomorrow. Catch the Padres.
Nice.
I've heard that Petco Park is one you have to check off the list if you can get down there.
Yeah.
Just for the food scene alone in that place, I've heard it's unbelievable.
Sounds about right.
I was told not to eat before we got to the stadium. Like, don't stop and eat and then go to the game. Like, make sure you're getting the ballpark food.
You're gonna drop
Food around the ballpark.
They don't have a Sky Rosa.
$120 in food at the ballpark.
Probably, yeah. I'd say that's safe.
Jeez.
I'd say that's safe.
For a one-off,
Tickets
for a one-off deal.
for $19 a ticket. So
Well done.
right down the third base line, like 10 rows from the foul line, I think.
Who are you seeing? Who the Padres playing?
The Diamondbacks.
Yeah. So be happy it's not like the Dodgers in town or something
Right.
like that. That ticket would be hard to get.
We wouldn't be going to the game.
No shot.
We wouldn't be going to the game. All right.
So,
Well, you guys can carry on. I would just I'll just sit here.
Here's a question that I want to pose to everybody. I asked it last night on the BBP. But NCAA football is coming out with their video game, EA Sports,
That's like next year, right?
July of
2023, yeah.
2023,
23.
which means the first game that the Bearcats are going to be on
We'll be in the Big 12.
will be in the Big 12, correct? Which can be awesome. That said, they have said that they're going to pay on tiers.
To the schools, not to the kids.
Correct, to the schools.
Yes.
So I feel like they're setting themselves up for another lawsuit with this. Because
I don't only if like they make the players look like the players that are on
So
the team.
so there's two different things at play here, Jeff. EA has to cut deals with the schools to use the copyrighted stuff, the stadium, the logo, the mascot. There needs to be something between now and 2023 if players are going to be in the game, some kind of collective across the nation that players can opt into to get their name in the game, and then they get paid.
Yeah.
So that's what has to happen on that end.
Yeah, they wouldn't. I don't think they would be able to like.
Well,
it would just have to be. It would have to be like, a one kind of like if you're
We pay
the
everybody this that is
Yep.
that gives us their name for this game, name and image for this game.
just like MLB the Show, though, there's going to be a vault that you can access that's going to import every single player into the game.
Unless they don't
turning it
do
off.
that.
They're turning it off.
That's what I've heard.
No vault.
No uploading rosters.
I find that impossible for them to do.
They did.
it's just a feature that they would turn off
Yeah, they just wouldn't put it in the game.
because otherwise you would run into that issue of there would be the
people are playing the game with that person's name and likeness.
But are you not going to be able to edit your players?
Probably not the names.
That's very different than anything they've ever released.
It has to be. The situation is very different.
Correct, but we all know that they're making gobs of money, and I still don't understand.
They're going to have to find a middle ground with the players to get their names.
I guess I still don't understand how you're doing this on a tiered basis, where you're giving what schools, top 25 schools, $100,000, and other schools less than. Like I just don't
because those are the schools that are going to bring the most money.
Not necessarily
buying the game.
Not necessarily.
People play with the popular teams.
Utah? You telling me Utah is going to be a popular team if they're a top 25 team?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know that the Utah fan base is going crazy. I think it's going to be, I don't know. I think it's still going to be just they're going to.
Well, using Utah is not fair. Like, do the Mormons even have video games?
Well,
you're not Amish.
Yeah. You're going BYU, not Utah.
It's mostly Mormon at Utah as well.
Mike Saunders begs to differ.
You don't have to be Mormon to play sports at Utah, but there's a lot of Mormons in the state that go to the university.
Maybe that was a bad example. I guess my point is, like, Appalachian State. Let's say Appalachian State's in the top 25. They're probably not, but
good for them. They get a bonus.
The church is not against video games.
Maybe that's kind of how it falls in. Like, hey, your school ends up a little higher on the
I guess I don't.
List.
I don't understand.
You make.
I guess I just don't understand why you're even doing that, as opposed to just giving every school $5,000 or whatever.
Because the schools can't give money to the players.
But then you
can't that transaction can't physically happen where EA gives the money to the school and the school distributes the money to the players.
Somehow they're going to figure out how to get microtransactions the way that every single game has, and I feel like you'd still be able to give the players money in some way, shape, or form, even if it was
only
in small
if there's
amounts.
an agreement in place with a company, a business to do so.
Which is why the players need a players union, and that's a conversation for a different day. But
that's not coming.
Yeah, but what?
Maybe.
But what they can have is, like, kind of what Chad alluded to at the beginning, is they can say, if you want your name and likeness in the game, like you want to, you're Aaron Smith, quarterback, at Long Island State, and you want to play as Aaron Smith, well, Aaron, you can sign this paperwork, and for every copy of the game that's sold, you're gonna get $1. Probably wouldn't be that high because that would be exorbitant, but you're gonna get this cut.
Generally, what they do is there's just a set, like, if we use your name, you get this much money.
Right.
Like, that's what they do in Madden, and that's EA, another EA property.
Okay, so you're gonna get $5,000.
All that.
We'll pay you $5,000 to use your name.
I doubt they're making that much on Madden.
Probably two or three. You got to remember, there's a lot of schools and a lot of players that play.
So here's the thing: I'm the kicker at some like podunk school. I'm opting into that.
Sure, of course.
Like I want my buddies back home. Like I want my buddies back home to be able to fire the game up and be like, look, I'm using Jeff to kick field goals. Like there he is.
All right,
shanking them like he did in high school.
It's a check for $2,000. You don't have to do anything for.
I just did the math. 32 teams, 53 players for Madden, and that's not counting free agents that are just sitting there that are still on the NFLPA roster and all that. But 32 teams, 53 players, $3,392,000 if you're paying each guy $2,000.
So now do college where there's 124 teams and
85.
105 players. Okay, you can use 85. We won't count walk-ons, but walk-ons will be able to get this money. I guarantee you that.
120 what?
120 teams.
Okay. 85.
Maybe the deal is they get a free copy of the game.
Right.
$2,000, 85 players, 120 teams. That's $20,400,000. That first game,
if you're EA, you cut that check.
I think you do.
Now the question is, will you have like, the elite, the top players in the country demand more money? And will EA, for like a sponsorship or
because they want to know what
pay it.
Arch Manning is going to want to know what he's ranked, right? Like
but that's the other thing though, that then EA has the leverage there.
CJ Stroud is going to want to know what he's ranked.
Sorry, if you don't want to take our deal that we're giving to everybody, then you'll just be not in the game.
And the walk-ons, you don't worry about.
Yeah, and then your boys can't play as you. Like,
yep, and that's what they come at them with. Hey, sorry, it's going to be. Guess what? Your backup decided that he was going to sign on for this, so he's going to be the guy that everybody's. Oh, I know that guy's name. Like, he always he plays the garbage time when Arch is out. So guess what? I'm going to bench the random guy that they assigned ahead of him, and I'm going to play this dude.
Yeah, you think I'm not playing? Damn it.
Good point, Ed.
Good talk.
You think I'm not playing Tobler if he would have been in NCAA? I'm playing Tobler every time he's starting.
Of course you are.
Well, that's a fair assumption.
Thank you.
You'll never hear me say a bad word about Tobes.
Me neither.
It's one of my favorite people on the planet.
I've never met him, but I think he's a good man.
One of my top used gifts.
Tobler time.
So, but yeah, I mean, that really, I mean, it's kind of like back and forth of like, because they don't need those names to sell the games.
No, it helps, but they don't need them.
They don't need them.
As long as they have the rights from the schools to use the colors, the branding, the stadium.
Because
and then what happens when you do dynasty mode is by 3 seasons in, it's a bunch of guys you don't know because they're all recruits.
Right. Yeah. Well, the way that
random recruits that you just went out and picked.
The way that 2K does it is you can download people will make draft classes for incoming rookies. So you could have Tari Eason currently on a 2K game that somebody's created and given their own rankings to, that's all user generated and all that. And I'll be curious to see if they do anything with that, because it's already happening at those levels. With Madden, you could have had Bearcats, and with 2K, you could already have, different guys. So I think that'll be interesting to see if because at that point you would have to unlock the vaults, and then you would have to potentially have all these guys that, I don't know.
I mean, I think it's going to be interesting the way that the players get to the money.
Yeah.
That's the part of the puzzle that we're missing. Connecting the player, because the schools and EA are connected. They've done this dance before, right?
But the other thing is maybe EA just doesn't do the players.
No, they will. They will. They know how much more they will sell if people can play with their actual team, with the name.
But
Jeff, maybe you don't go. Maybe you don't go $2,000 though, because you're not NFL players, you're college players. So instead of doing $2,000 like we do with the NFL, we go $1,000 or whatever the case may be.
No, they do $5,000 for the NFL and potentially $2,000 for college.
Again, whatever the case may be. So it's $1 billion industry. They're not even selling discs anymore because you can just download the stupid game. Yeah. So you're not out
by discs.
You're not out hardware to sell the game anymore, really.
That's because you're old, Ed.
I like trade them in.
You're also like my dad. I like having the ticket.
Also, it saves room on your hard drive. GameStop is still around.
He's getting $7 for a $60 game.
Well, what I'm saying is I will buy the used version.
GameStop is worse than Pawn Stars as far as how much they offer you for your stuff.
All of this reminds
about Rick like that.
Reminds me of my college books that I refused to sell back to the bookstore for them to mark up 85% on what they gave me. I just kept all my books and burned them because I did not want the bookstores to get my money.
Principalities.
Absolutely. Get out of here with trying to sell my book. Or I gave them to people taking the class for Fraternity Brothers.
It's like car dealerships. They take your car, give you like $2,000, and then you turn around and like a week later, it's on their site for like $10,000, and you're like, what the?
Yeah, but we did oil change and check the tire pressure. Yeah, we did. You know,
like,
man,
all good to go.
We put a new cabin filter in too.
Buffed out those dents we told you we couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Right. So
unreal.
Oh, it'll be interesting. I'm just excited that the game's coming out.
I just want to have that conversation with you guys because I think it's a fun conversation to have.
I want to play it.
Yeah, we all do.
The last Bearcat to be on an NCAA basketball game was Kenyon Martin. And speaking of Kenyon Martin, did anybody check out that Knuckleheads podcast that he was on last week?
No.
Check it out. It's a good listen.
You made Chad leave.
He shares some good stories.
Way to go, Ed. You made Chad leave.
Like basically he ran the Bearcats team.
Are you surprised?
No, but some good stories.
And I wonder what those stories would be like if him and Huggins were doing the stories together.
Oh, they'd be hilarious.
And probably different.
Do you have Kenyon's face tattooed on your back? Everybody?
I don't hate everybody. I'm just saying I think
it's a good listen. All I'm saying is it's a good listen. You don't have to act like it's the worst listen in the world. He probably would tell those stories if Bob Hogan was around, bro.
I'm just saying that
I don't think that's how Aaron sounded.
He mentioned about how hard it is to wake up after a game, by the way.
It's hard.
Hard.
I'm just saying that I think that the stories would have.
It's hard.
The stories would have been different had they been told in tandem, because I don't think it would sound like Kenyon Martin. You think Huggins is going to let Kenyon Martin say that he ran this team?
No. Did you see my family leave?
No.
Huh. Me either.
They went to go watch the sunset without you.
Yeah, they went to watch the sunset without me.
I'm just saying, give it a listen.
Did you go to a place that had alcohol for dinner?
I'm having some beers right now.
I saw that.
No. We just got pizza, remember?
Yeah.
Touche.
Carry out pizza.
That's hilarious. He just popped. It's like, anybody?
John Travolta. He's John Travolta, right? Like
my family. They were. She was just on the couch. She was over. I don't know. I just turned around. They're all gone.
I went to get a beer, and they were gone. Like,
what timeline is this? What is this?
It's 8:04 on a Tuesday right now.
11:01.
Oh man,
unbelievable! They just left. They just left me.
Is it really unbelievable? Honestly,
no, totally believable.
Right.
Probably the most believable thing ever. Oh my God!
Do you have a balcony you can just go out on?
Are you about to pull a
Good talk, Ed.
Here you go.
Luke Fickle. Remember when Luke Fickle came on they're
down there.
Subathon?
I hear you up there.
I know they're downstairs.
That's awesome.
This is unbelievable.
Again, I go back to the most believable thing.
I mean, what can you do?
What can you do? Jeff, last thing I want to ask you as we're approaching 15 minutes before 2 hours here on this podcast. We didn't get your thoughts on the Big 12 being official
when I was out here.
So I do want to ask what your thoughts are on July 1st, 2023, Big 12 official. Eric, how are you?
I mean, I don't think my thoughts have changed since they announced it originally that we were headed there. I mean, I think as far as I went, like, kind of expected them to do everything in their power to get there as fast as possible. It sounds like, they ponied up a pretty, was like 18 million, I think.
Over the course of, what was it, Chad?
Like
14 years?
like 77 years they have to pay that over.
So
It was like the worst like car purchase length.
No.
Of all
I think
time.
I think
That's
this is
great.
to,
It's great.
they have to pay half the first 4 years, and then the other half over the next 10.
So it's like Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah. Gladly pay you tomorrow for a cheeseburger today.
So what happens when in 5 years the AAC doesn't exist anymore? We just
That's a
stop.
great question.
I guess you just don't pay anymore.
Right.
Okay, I guess that's nice.
That's exactly what would happen. There'd be nobody to pay it to. So
yeah, I mean,
you pay.
I guess unless they like changed their, if they, I don't know, whatever, became some other conference name, but kept the same teams or something.
You'd still
Why would
inherit
you do that though.
You'd still inherit debts and credits and all of that, unless they merged with another conference.
Yeah.
In which case, then maybe you'd be talking something different. But
You say pound salt. I said I would pay the AAC, whatever iteration this is. I don't know. But whenever they, I mean, obviously, like the video they put out was incredible. Like, they've got a great team that does that, and hell, I mean, I think you maybe are starting to see like that already with like women's tennis. They've got like 87 5-star recruits coming in. It's crazy.
Wow.
They tag me every time that happens, and every time I'm like, "What is happening?"
That's insane.
It
What
blows
is
up every
happening?
time too.
What's that? Ed?
I mean, I
It
don't know
blows
much
up
about
every time.
women's.
Yeah.
I don't know much about women's tennis, but that's awesome.
Very cool.
don't know much, but I know why I love you.
I mean, like good for that. And then you got what Ellie Leather was. I think like, I mean, she made the 1500 final.
She was 12th.
So there you go. And that's at the. I mean, that's at nationals. That's not.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking 12th in the
I think
country.
it was good
like
for second team All American.
there you go. Like
Big
impressive.
12's going to be fun, boys.
So, you're starting to see it. I think across some of the other sports.
Well, I've talked
starting
to
to pick up.
some other coaches that have said it's a significant difference, even
and who
beyond
they're able to
football and
like,
basketball.
and who they're able to, and you also have to think like some of that is football putting the school in
Absolutely.
front of eyeballs
Absolutely.
all across the board. And I know we've talked about that before, but
Sure.
I'm happy that they're moving forward a little quicker. I'm happy that I'm kind of looking forward to maybe getting that 1 year of potential Texas or Oklahoma at Nippert.
I can't wait for that first 5-star.
That would be neat. Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of like, when's it gonna happen?
Right.
Not like if. So yeah, I mean obviously it's good for the school. They're gonna make that. They'll make that $18 million back pretty quick, I think.
Ohio State's going to
How long do they have to wait till they get full?
So the first 2 years they'll get between 18 and 19 million,
Then the TV deal.
and then whatever the TV deal is in 25, which is expected to be at least 40, probably 45.
And what do they get now?
7.
Like 7 total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a good deal. What they're doing.
That move to Jordan doesn't sound so crazy anymore.
No, I mean,
It still sounds
I will.
crazy, man. Getting no money out of your shoe deal. Ooh.
I get it, but when you have money
I
that
just
you
got
didn't
this pink
expect,
eye. I need to go out inside and give Kelly the patio.
when you get money that you weren't expecting, and all of a sudden budgets change, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I mean, what do they get out of their shoe deal? Like, I guess.
Under Armour.
A lot. The Under Armour deal was crazy.
I mean, but would they get?
Just comes out.
Would
They were getting
they,
like $5 million a year, $2.5 million cash, $2.5 million apparel.
But would they get any money like from Nike and then no money on the Jordan side?
If they did a split deal, those are two different companies, Jeff. Jordan's its own, essentially its own company now. on that end of things, like apparel.
So like, because isn't it like Michigan? Like Michigan has like Jordan brand for like some stuff and Nike for everything else.
Yeah, I mean, you could strike that deal if Nike is okay with it.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I would want them
because
to
it's
Jordan.
two different. Like it would be basketball would be Jordan,
Yeah,
and then Nike would be football. That's two different entities. So that's two different deals.
I think I'd be okay with that.
I mean, I think that is a possible scenario for sure. Like, I don't know that I'd say that it's the likely scenario, but it's definitely like there's a chance that could be something in play.
I wonder if Jordan would give Nike the rights to the throwbacks.
Well, if there's Jordan involved, it would be basketball.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if Jordan would give.
You mean
Nike,
if they went with Nike instead
if they went Nike across the board, if Jordan would the same way we did like the Cats jerseys. Like if
I mean they work. I mean, obviously they're affiliated enough.
I think that all of a sudden presents a whole different opportunity for you.
Yeah.
But
I told Coach Savino to have a pair of those UCLA blue Jordan size 9 ready for me, and he didn't. So that's it's going to affect my decision when I sit down with my family and discuss my options. Still undecided on a USC visit on Thursday.
You are now entering the bone zone.
Talks are ongoing about a potential visit to USC on Thursday.
You talk to Bone?
He calls me sometimes.
All right, then.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Not if he heard you doing his impression on any of our shows.
I've done it. You think I haven't done that in front of Mike Stone?
I'm sure you have.
How well do you know me?
We've literally had this exact conversation before.
You parrot it right back to him whenever he says it.
Hey, buddy.
I hope you find
your dad.
Saw that coming. All right, you guys got anything else then?
Yes, actually, I do. I told you I was going to talk about this.
I forgot this.
Little League coaching.
Ed, get your 60 seconds.
I got it.
All right.
This is a very brief thing. I'll go into more on the after section of the show. Maybe I should save all of this for that. I don't know.
Let it fly, Jeff.
No, I've found the more and I've coached youth sports since I was 19. And I'm 36 now, so do the math. And I've been around a lot of coaches that do things right, and a lot of coaches that maybe don't do things right, or at least in my eyes, and the way that I think kids should be coached. And I like to think that when you coach younger kids, and I'm talking, Pee-wee
under
football,
13,
Pee-wee football, Little League baseball that's not travel baseball, because I really don't think travel baseball should be around for. I think it's ruined not whole baseball, but whatever.
Kids soccer, right, Ed?
Anything of that nature. When you're coaching these things, like the measure of your success shouldn't be. And I'm sure these are written on things that I've read over the years, and it's agreed. And there's some things that have happened that you measure your success shouldn't be like championships and how many wins that you have in a season. Really, you should be able to measure it based on how many of the kids that you coach have decided that the next year they want to come back and participate in that sport, whether it's for you, and I would hope that it would be if you're,
Playing
good,
right,
whatever. Right. But like maybe you've gone up to the next age level, whatever, but you have found a love for whatever that sport is, to the point where you want to continue to play it. And I have seen some things in this last 6 months across several of my buddies who have posted things with their kids playing travel ball. Like I said, I think it's crazy that there's like travel coaches pitch, like that's wild. Where a lot of these kids are they don't want to play anymore. They don't want to play sports. They don't want to play. They don't want to do whatever sport it is because of the interactions that they have with their coaches. Whether it's they feel like their coach isn't invested in them, they feel like they're getting, like nobody needs to be under some kind of grand delusion of grandeur that their kid's the greatest kid, or the kid themselves thinks that they should play at whatever every inning or every down in football, these kinds of things. But they should feel like they are developing,
learning. Right?
Like they're learning. They should be being taught the fundamentals of the game, whatever it is, and not a win at all costs mentality. There's an article that I'm going to actually read and go through. My wife sent it to me not that long ago, probably like half an hour ago, by a psychologist, a sports psychologist that really dives into it. And I'll read it. I'll rehash it next week because I want to actually like kind of pick it apart. It has percentages and things, so I need to write down notes. But it's just kind of
AEW.
Yeah, it's kind of hit me a little sideways talking to some buddies that have some teams and are participating on teams, and I know from experience because of good buddies with them and their kids. Some of their kids are very talented athletes who have lost all desire to participate in whichever sport it is that they're doing due to interactions with their coaches and some other experiences with some of the other parents. And it's just not that serious when you're in a, well, like you said, 13 and under. Let's maybe start developing some love for the game, whatever game it may be. That's how you're going to foster these kids, because you can't tell a kid that's playing Pee Wee football or Little League baseball. You might have an inkling, but you the kid that you write off as a 7U kid or a Pony League football kid that you say that kid's not going to ever be a good athlete is going to be the 5-star recruit that you wrote off and didn't give enough of a chance, that doesn't now want to play that sport anymore, and they very well could be very good.
I.e. Michael Jordan.
I've seen it happen with kids that I've coached that have hey, they were doing okay, but they stuck it out because they love. And I'm going to toot my own horn on it because I feel like I was a pretty damn good coach. And then down the line, once they get to high school and they have more experience in the sport they're playing, they're pretty damn good.
Yeah. Hey Jeff, quick question: when you coached, did you ever miss like 5 weeks of practices?
Ed, you're lucky I can't mute you anymore.
I was waiting for Aaron to laugh at that one.
I was waiting. Let the joke sit, man.
So that was the little bit that I wanted to get out there. I am going to hit this article, and I know that this isn't necessarily the stuff we always talk about, but it's sports related.
No, Jeff,
quite a lot. So
it's funny you say that right now, because I just watched, our oldest play in a tournament this weekend that his team won, but they played him solidly. They a couple innings at first base and largely at DH. And he's 12. He just turned 12 last week, and it's like, what's he contributing? What's he learning? Riding the pine instead of playing right field, instead of playing first base, instead of playing third base, instead of pitching. Why are you putting your great pitchers in when you're up 6-10 runs in a game? I don't understand what you're doing to better these kids instead of just playing to win. Like, I understand it's a tournament, and so it's a little bit different. It's all-stars, so it's a little bit different than the Sandlot League. But at the same time, like, who are you helping? Putting your best pitchers in when you're up 6-10 runs, when you could be pitching other guys.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, Parker's coach in indoor, they were blowing a team out of the water, and he didn't have any subs, right? So he couldn't just put other guys in. So he told them, like, if you're going to shoot a goal, you better shoot with your left foot for the rest of the game, right? that slowed down the scoring, and it also got them to practice their left foot. But he was, I got you. I'm just saying.
Interesting. Well, I think Ed has 60 seconds, so timer is about to be out. It's been a little while since you've had this. It's been a couple.
I had
of
it
weeks.
last week.
Did you?
Yes.
I don't think you did.
I did. Go back and look at the tape.
Go back and look at the tape.
We had Griffin Merritt last week. I don't think you had 60 seconds of AEW.
Well, I did.
All right. Well, here we go. 60 seconds starts now.
All right. So the big news coming out of the wrestling world this week, if you haven't read it, you probably should. Vince McMahon has stepped down as a president and CEO among allegations that he paid off a former employee, a paralegal or an attorney or something like that, that he had an affair with to the tune of $3 million. Fun fact, he paid less than that for the WCW names and logos when he purchased WCW. The $3 million to pay off somebody that he had an affair with. In a weird move, McMahon keeps coming out to the ring and thanking the fans and then leaving. Thursday night, he comes out, first thing he does. Everybody thinks he's going to make a big speech about it. Thanks the fans and leaves. Last night, comes out, says something about somebody returning, leaves again. So he's just playing people right now, which is pretty funny. He did it on SmackDown, then he did it on Raw. Also, one of my favorites is back, Brock Lesnar. He's going to fight again now that he's not injured anymore. And then last week, and again, you can't stop me. So last week I predicted that Pat McAfee was up to something. And this week he started a feud with Happy Corbin. So I was correct. Give me my credentials.
None of that was AEW.
None of it.
It was wrestling talk.
Not a bit of it. I think we're gonna have to work on this segment.
I want my.
You talk about the big stories that are happening right now in wrestling, right? The big story right now is Vince McMahon.
You didn't think to mention the fact that Sting came back in AEW?
In the subway? In New York City?
I didn't know he came back.
Yeah, because you didn't watch it.
Because I watched SmackDown and Raw.
Thanks, Ed. You gonna go ahead and send us out, Aaron?
Yep, that was another episode of Part of the Punctuation for the self-proclaimed best producer here in the city, for Jeff Howell's triumphant return, for Chad Brendel from the West Coast. This was another episode of Part of the Punctuation. We will see you next week, 9:15, Tuesday night. See ya!
No.